At the tender age of 34, Christian Bale had already worked for Steven Spielberg when he was just 13, portrayed Jesus on an NBC movie, redefined horror in American Psycho, co-starred in one of the best remade westerns, 3:10 to Yuma, and among other things, rekindled and reinvented the iconic image of Batman. Now he's donned the cape and cowl and whatever else is necessary once again for the Dark Knight. How good to see you.
Good to see you, too. I don't feel very tender at 34, though, I have to say.
Well, I can't remember. It's been so long since I've been 34. Yeah. When they came back to you to do another one, did you say, I'll do it, or did you say, I have to read the script first, or did you trust the director so much that you said...
Well, it's a mixture. I trust the director, but I had to read the script as well. You know, I mean, I had to know what we were dealing with, and with this one, Chris had complete carte blanche with what he was able to do with the movie. You know, that was his deal. He said, I will make a second one, but I must be able to make exactly the movie that I want to make. And so we have a really entertaining roller coaster ride of a movie, but very, very intelligent, raises many ethical questions, and leaves you feeling quite haunted by the end of it.
It does indeed. If you go over your resume, there's no junk there. There's no take the money and run kind of movie. Every actor's entitled to do that. That leads me to believe that you're very good at reading scripts. So when you read this script and you read that you're almost in some ways a secondary character to the Joker, no matter who would have played the Joker, what were you thinking?
Well, I was looking at it as, you know, this is the Batman Begins was the origin story. We got to learn about the pain and what drove him to become and create the creature of Batman and who he is. And now we see him as a slightly older man, more mature, less naive, with the burden of responsibility of having the power rather than a young man who's striving to attain the power and the different responsibilities that come with that.
You used the word burden. He's also world-weary a little bit.
Yeah.
And, you know, it leaves us saying, oh, no, I hope this isn't the last one. And there's going to be another one. This will go through the roof, and they'll bring you another great script, and you'll do it. But when you were saying things like, I'm getting tired of this, and not those exact words, was that made to make the audience think that there wouldn't be another one with you in it?
I wasn't playing any games with that. No whatsoever. I don't keep my cards, you know, close to my chest really on it. I always felt like there was a great sequel to be made, and I think that if we do a third one, which will be Chris Nolan's decision entirely, I think there's a great challenge there in that, you know, there's been many sequels that are fantastic. You got Empire Strikes Back, you got Godfather 2, you know, the sequels often exceed the original, but how many of the third installment of a trilogy exceed the others? Not many.
I noticed you left out Godfather 3, which was derided by a lot of people, despite some good actors in it. That's what you have to be afraid of, right?
Yeah.
When you get a movie like this, you have to please not only the comic book fans, but you've got to please people who want to see you in a dark movie, in a powerful movie. So you really have to play to a wide audience. And you decided to do this when you're a Batman with a different voice, with a whole different demeanor, as if something has possessed you. I use the word possessed because the earlier movie, we get into your psyche. How tough was it to pick it up after a few months or a year or so and go into that character again?
It wasn't tough at all, you know. I mean, we did, I worked for 7 months on the first one, and literally just a matter of days in, I felt like I was continuing into the 8 month of doing it, you know, with more maturity to the character. But also, you know, when it comes to pleasing people, listen, of course you want to have a good reception, but you don't make a movie by committee. And so I have to make a movie that I would want to see, and I have to create a character that I am interested in, and that's it. I put my head down and I focus on that, and I don't really pay attention to what people may be requesting, because I believe that if we have enough conviction in what we're doing, then people will believe it as well.
They will, and indeed. Jimmy Cagney used to go through rehearsals playing his character very low-key. Then when the camera ran, boy, would he let go. Yeah. Is that what happened with Heath Ledger and you, if you did any rehearsals? Was he very calm and into his character and then quietly in a way?
Heath was very calm, as was I, and I do believe that. I believe rehearsals are purely for, you know, setting out any kind of technical moments that we have to engineer with the camera, and then, yeah, you save it up for when you're actually filming so that you can still have surprises. You know, often the best moments in movies are accidents, and if you rehearse things too much, it becomes too choreographed, and you know, you get in the rut.
Well, Frank Sinatra was a one-take actor. Nobody would dare ask him to do a second take. Marilyn Monroe was sometimes a 40-take actress. Where are you in this equation, or does it depend on the situation?
It depends on the situation. I mean, sometimes you nail it in the first one and you understand that, you know what, it's not going to get better because you got it exactly how you needed it to. But other times, if there's a reason, there was always got a reason. But if there's a reason for it and we're looking for real nuance, then absolutely I will become a 40-take actor until we get it.
If you hadn't picked up the mantle of Batman and made it your own, would you have been concerned about taking Terminator Salvation, and created by Schwarzenegger, and making that character your own too? Because you're used to that now.
I think I had a certain confidence in approaching that, because I'd seen the success in being able to revitalize and revive the whole story with Batman. The difference being that with Batman Begins, with all due respect to the other Batman movies, we were ignoring them. You know, as far as we were concerned, this was number 1 and Dark Knight is number 2. With Terminator, it's a little different in that we are recognizing at least Terminator 1 and 2 and continuing with the mythology.
So we might hear you say, "I'll be back"?
Let's see how that goes. I don't know about that.
See, this is your chance to tell us the plot of that movie. You can tell, you don't want to tell the plot of that movie now, right?
I'll keep that one quiet.
Now, should I worry that my son's role model was your character in American Psycho?
Yes, you should. Yeah.
I mean, that was a movie which was one of the scariest horror kind of films. Would you ever go back to a role like that?
Absolutely. You know, I find that movie so funny and so ridiculous. To me, it's hilarious. And absolutely, I would go back to a movie like that.
Here we are in July. Already this summer season, we've seen Iron Man, the Hulk, Hellboy, and now you. It's the summer of comic book heroes. When you see those other movies come out and do well, are you biding your time and you're saying, "Oh, I wish we had had the whole summer of that genre to ourselves"?
No, I've had my hole in the sand. I have literally not seen a single one of those movies.
Mm-hmm. On purpose, or just because you?
No, I just I just haven't had the urge to go see him. I will at some point, but I don't view it as being any competition.
Olivier could not play an American, could not do American accents unless it was "I have no son," unless it was like in the jazz singer. It's the one thing he couldn't do. Mm-hmm. You have mastered the technique of speaking American. What's the secret?
Well, thank you. Living here. You know, I've lived here for many years, and I think that's what it is. And also, you know, I'm not actually naturally gifted at doing accents. So what I do is I just maintain them the entire time. So whilst I'm filming on something 24/7, I speak in the accent that I'm speaking, and eventually it just becomes natural.
So you wouldn't say whilst if you were speaking American? And my co-host, Allison Bales, is English, and she says things like margarine and things like that, and you can tell the difference. But when you're on a movie, when the scene is being finished, you stay in your mind?
No, I stay in it. With the voice when I'm out at dinner with people 24/7.
Is it a burden?
No, because it's strange to begin with, but after a while it becomes so natural that I have to actually think, right, okay, I'll go back to English, and it takes a while for me to get back to English.
Now, when you do a thing where you lose a lot of weight for a movie, or you gain a lot of weight from it, mostly so far you've lost a lot of weight, and then you have to gain it back, when you get to be 40, 45, you have to worry about health issues with that. If that kind of a role would come back again, like Rescue Down, for example,